guys, we are back!
Yeah! And we are back! What is going on, brother?
How are ya?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Not too bad, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just ready to do another podcast.
That's it.
Beautiful. Who's our guest? I don't care about you, bro. Who's our guest?
Honestly, bro, get out.
Who's our guest, bro?
I was going to say, this is your mate.
Yeah,
and my mate, but he's more your mate.
It is the one, the only Christian. Boom! What's going on? What's happening, brother? Most important question of the podcast. How is the coffee?
Well, hang on a second. Let's introduce him properly. What's his full name, bro?
That's pretty good.
I don't know how to say the middle name.
My name is Cristian Andres Sepulveda Villalon.
There you go, that's how I put it.
Okay.
Hola there! You know, I don't know how to say it.
It's Christian Andres, so.
There you go, Christian Andres. I can't say it with the accent because I don't want to get
Andres.
close. Hey, go on, man, you all good?
Yeah, good man, good. Thanks for the coffee.
How is it?
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
No, it's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
that's all I want to know.
Good roast.
Good roast.
Good roast, huh?
Smooth and creamy, mate.
What is it no bull beans or what?
Noble HQ beans, mate.
So no way
Got a ball in the no ball.
Oh, rough. Anyways, so we've got Christian on today because you are one of the biggest, like I guess, event people in day and night. So like day clubs, nightclubs, all that type of stuff.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't say I'm one of the biggest, but I'm
getting
one of
there.
the little dudes that's been plodding along for a little while.
For a while, you've been what, 11 years now? Did you say?
Yeah, it's 11 years this year. Yeah, definitely not the biggest. There's some dudes doing some really incredible stuff. You know, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 plus events. I'm still not there, but
You're definitely getting there, though.
I'm hopefully, man. I'm working with some cool people. I've got some really cool partners, really cool. Yeah, just a really cool crew, and
Yeah.
you know, we're slowly doing our thing, and you know, lately we're doing some really cool events.
No, I love it. I love it. I
man.
admire the hustle. So tell us about yourself. So how'd you get started, and why do you do what you do?
It's an interesting thing, man. So I used to be a side hustle.
Yep.
So you know, I come from a family that you know, used to be really involved in soccer clubs. A stepdad who used to sort of really used to kind of own a soccer club for a while here in Melbourne, like over 35s and tournaments and stuff. But you know, there's big communities and there's big families that kind of a little bit known, and that was me in kind of I guess a Latin community that kind of went from there to had some random dude offer me kind of a promo gig. Kind of pretty much smashed their events, and you know, eventually got a bit of partnership out of it. And then
Was that without any actual like background in marketing? You just like
man, like we're talking all the way back to like 18 years old, like 18 years old, man. So we're going back. I've literally been doing this since I was 17, 18.
And at that time, what were you like using to advertise? Facebook.
That time
MySpace.
That's not even MySpace, to be honest. We were back then it was text messages, mails. Yeah. Back then it was running from security guards at the front of venues because you put flyers on top of cars.
Oh, really?
Train stations, man. So you go to train stations at 1 a.m. trying to, because remember everyone used to drive to the station and train it in. So you put flyers on cars. Very different to now, man. We didn't have the digital marketing type of stuff, the socials, the you know, the other platforms like your Instagrams, what is it, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook.
Did you find all that stuff sort of came out that it really changed the game in terms of like marketing and advertising and?
Yeah, it got cheaper.
Well,
up until Facebook ads came along, but you know, printing was always expensive. It's a little bit cheaper now because there's not as much market for it. But you know, I guess when I first started in the event stuff, I was also doing other jobs, so I wasn't so focused. But something I learned and sort of studied over time is the marketing, and the marketing's changed. My marketing evolves, you know, the actual market changes. So, you know, print media back then was huge for us because people gave a crap about a flyer.
Yeah.
You know, now, and I'm sure you guys have seen it before when you hand out flyers here, sometimes you'll see one sort of sitting at the front, you think, damn, like it cost me 30 cents to print.
Exactly right.
Back in those days, it was text message databases, you know, things like that. And, you know, I think being a promoter back then was a lot more, I don't know, this was a little bit more glorious as well then. You know, you knew where people were going, you knew where to drop things off, you could put things in stores and people looked at them. Whereas now Facebook wins. Facebook's kind of, if you're not good on socials,
you're not doing it right.
You're not doing it right, you know. But you still hold the old school elements.
Yes. You just go into the
I remember, what was it, like 2012, 2013, like doing like making Facebook events and inviting like everyone you knew to the events, especially like with nightclubs.
Yep.
Like that was the thing.
It was massive.
Dude, I remember when we worked in this brand, kind of doesn't exist anymore. I'm not really partners with these dudes anymore, but you know, we did these groups, and I remember building a like page, but like pages were second to groups initially. So the groups were massive.
Yep.
So a lot of clubs were doing groups, and the like pages weren't that big. They weren't, because back then you'd show your interests and stuff like that. But groups were massive. So you'd build a group and you'd promo in that, and you'd be getting way better response. Then Facebook changes the way the groups work.
Yep.
And now you can add anyone to groups. So all of a sudden now you've got people draining it because they add people to groups unwillingly, and they smash them.
Yeah.
Whereas then like pages are a lot better. I guess it's a lot more of a genuine way, right? People have to go to your page to like them. You can invite them to, but
Doesn't have to like.
and that changed over time. It went from kind of in your face, we're going to do this, and to like we're going to promo this stuff. This is where we are. To these are our like pages, and it kind of then stemmed from that to sponsored ads and. Yeah, we're talking a change of like a 10, 15 period, man.
So from that change from back then to like sort of, I guess you could say face to face, old school style of marketing, what's the most challenging thing you've had to face from that to transition into social media?
I think for me it wasn't a hard transition at the time when we went into sort of the Facebook type stuff. What was it? Probably 2000. I can't even remember how far back, man. What are we at? 2019. So what? 2010ish. 2010. Around then was when sort of Facebook really hit for everyone anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really on it much before clubbing. Before I was running clubs, I was on MySpace for ages, but that kind of died off. But it wasn't a hard change for me because it was at the time I was working full time for a business coach, and so the little that we were doing compared to now, we were well ahead of the game.
So
I think
was that from your business?
I think most promoters and event planners, event organisers, whatever you want to call yourselves, were actually well ahead of the game when it comes to Facebook and social media marketing.
Just unaware of it, or?
Yeah, unaware of it, because like we're all hustlers. The one thing that we all have in common in this industry, doesn't matter what you do, is we hustle. So an opportunity to market to a massive database is like your dream from the minute you start, right? So we were doing it before people spoke about social media marketing, or like back then it was email databases and stuff like that. Then here I was, I remember being 18, 19 years old and just tagging 99 people on a post. That stuff was like really was bothering people. People would complain, but it's mass marketing. And these are things that like I know plenty of dudes that are in the game at the moment who I respect a lot. That we're hustlers, man. That's what we do.
Did you ever think like marketing will take this pathway in terms of all the digital stuff and like the what's it called, the email marketing? Did you ever think that it was? Yeah, you did.
Marketing's forever evolving, man. It's like I'm at the moment trying to understand TikTok.
So am I.
Man,
follow me.
I haven't even opened one yet.
Do you know how we get famous? We have to do a stupid dance to a song and we'll blow up.
Yeah, but I find TikTok it's all about dancing, man.
But if it works and people get famous from it.
The point is, so do you remember Instagram was trash when it first started?
Yeah.
Why are people posting photos? Like what?
Of
I remember when that
food
first started, and it was a bother, man, because we just figured out Facebook. Then Facebook started changing its algorithms, and this Instagram pops up. TikTok's not going to be of any use to someone in my industry anytime soon.
No.
But you've got, let's say, up to what, 15, 16-year-olds? Well, in 2 years' time, they're very relevant to me.
Exactly.
And I'm very irrelevant to them.
Yep.
So like, as we get older, we need to continue to evolve. So in our industry, yes, to be honest, if you look back at like all the bigger brands for as long as even your phone companies, right? The way they communicate with you, because marketing is just communications. So the way they communicate with you, how many of you actually get a bill these days? I know some people are real old school, get a print bill, but they can get it on an app, you can get it online. They talk to you in different ways. That's all marketing is. Marketing is just how we talk to people. And it's not about how we sell to people, that's sales. Marketing is communications. We're just saying, how are we talking to you, and how can we talk to 50,000 of you quicker than just one-on-one? That's all it is. So you answer your question, yes. Like I did think it was going to change, because I can't even think or predict what's going to happen in the next 10.
I think like this virtual reality stuff that's going to come into play. I reckon that's going to
virtual reality, getting lonely.
That's funny.
That's funny.
That's
funny. He's going to go.
Anyway, trying to stay on topic.
So what have you found to be, I guess, a bit more successful, like Facebook ads, like paid ads, or organic?
Oh man, it's
Because for us, I've been like for us, it's been more organic rather
Yeah.
than paying for ads.
I think people need to understand the difference between the two. There's a massive difference between them, right? It's like saying it's like a P2P, so person to person referral
Yep.
versus 6 mates now, right? It's a completely different level. You're at a different level. So, and I think we went over this in that whole sales funnel thing when we spoke about it the other day.
Yep.
If you look at that from a personal level, and like I'll re-explain what we spoke about. So when you first hit me up to come to this gym, it took about 8 touch points, not actually touching, but like communication points before I even showed up, right?
Yeah.
I think I'd cancelled once. I said I was coming. You'd waited for me once, but that's the sales funnel. That's exactly what that is. That's marketing. That's a personal approach. Now, if that was your best mate, then he'd just show up straight away. So that's the difference. What I think, and I could be wrong, but that's the difference for me between the organic stuff and the paid stuff.
Yep.
You're reaching out organically to people that are genuinely interested, but there are people that you don't know that are interested.
So that's why you pay.
And if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah. But you can just try.
Well, you can try, but you get a bit educated with the way you market because you know that. Let's say, for example, for our day party, right? We've just launched the one at Prince. At Prince Circa Rooftop for New Year's,
Nice.
and it's going to be a big event, and we know the type of crowds that we want there, and we know the age demographics, because also, we want some people to spend, and it's in St Kilda, and we want the look, and we know that, so we know exactly. Well, I wouldn't say exactly, but we'll attempt and try different things for different people.
Yeah.
At the same time, we'll reach out to the people ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
2 different things. One's organic, one's completely paid. One's just. So I think people need to distinguish the fact that they're 2 different things, and they should always run parallel to each other. Build your organic. Organically, you can't build. You don't have control over that, really.
Yeah.
Put out content and hope it comes back. But also have a parallel marketing strategy where pay some money and see what happens. Test it out.
Or in terms of paying for your marketing. So we went to a seminar recently. We went to Gary Vee recently.
I shouted, I missed that.
Yeah, man, he's actually.
We'll go next year.
I'm always keen to go watch that guy. Man, he's the gun. But it was talking about how we gotta understand. Sorry, we gotta understand now that. We gotta understand now that social media is free. Marketing on social media is free.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we've got to take into consideration that eventually we're going to have to pay for marketing and advertising regardless. Like every Instagram post we put up, eventually we're going to have to pay for it.
Yep.
And I think the algorithm is changing now in the sense where our exposure to what we post is declining. So we're getting less likes.
Yep.
Like, doesn't matter.
They're monopolizing it. They're monetizing it so
Yeah.
they can make money.
Yeah, well, yeah, of course. But I think there's going to be a period of time where it's just going to be like that continuously. Anything that we post, we're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, but that's what they're pushing towards. But people they're complaining that they have to pay when it's free. Who cares? Like right now, social media is free, so they shouldn't be stressing about stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. But do you think how long do you think we have until that happens? Gary Vee reckons we've got 2 years left.
Before
I
everything's
don't
paid.
think he's 100% on that, because I think that with marketing as well, or with these type of databases, there's something to say for it being free. It's actually never been free. Right? You've just not had to pay for it. Whatever you like, what you think is free isn't. You've given up your personal information from day dot for free.
Yeah.
And it's actually never belonged to you. None of the content has ever belonged to you. Once it's up there, it's up there. That in itself is a cost to me. Are we talking financials? How long we're going to be able to go without financially? We're already well past that.
But is that a price to pay in order to get your content and what you can sell out there though?
100%. 100%. I think it's with all now we're talking about technology more than marketing, man. Because in all honesty, man, everything you do, you actually give up more than what you think. Get yourself a new iPhone. You're actually giving away all this crazy metadata you don't even know. So but that's what we use, right? That as marketers, that's what we do. I think your big food chains, your McDonald's and stuff like that, they know what's going to make you want a certain burger. They know the colors that are going to warm you. They call them the golden arches, and the movie portrayed it like it was just he picked it up. Nah, man. That's what marketing is. Marketing is knowing how people communicate, and then how to. And I hate using the word manipulation because it's got such a negative sort of connotation to it, but it's how to use what we know about how people communicate.
Yeah. And then draw them in.
for our own benefit.
Yeah.
Now that's it. That's what marketing is. And when I say for our own benefit, if you're a good person, it's for everyone's benefit, right? Like
They can sort of tell if it's not. You're trying to.
I'll bring it back to the topic of the gym. Like, doesn't matter how direct and how forward your marketing is. You know why you're doing it. You know, and people go, "Oh, you're trying to grow your business." Yeah, but the business helps people's lives.
Exactly right.
Like, it's a life-changing experience stepping into a gym, let alone this gym. So, like, you shouldn't need to like have that issue of like, oh, you know, how much are we giving away or how forceful are we being? We're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
No, I think my industry is for the right reasons, and I can tell you, there's a lot of people that don't believe that. You know, like, you know, there's a lot of things that happen in our events that, you know,
but those things you can't really control.
Yeah.
You can't. That happens everywhere. You can't control
and
it.
look, we feed egos. We do the whole booth life, bro, kind of stuff. And, no, but like how I convince myself, and I could be wrong. I've got a certain amount of hours to make people feel like superstars. You know, and these are people that work hard for their money, man.
Yeah,
Exactly
of course.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like for them, it's an outlet. For them going out like, to
That's
your
it.
events, it's
That's
an
what
outlet.
they want to do. That's what they want to do.
Coming to your clubs.
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
It's an
That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do.
That's it. So yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I think that socials have made a big change. I think socials have made it easier because of the way we use socials. You know, it is what it is, man. I just kind of go with it. We just have to go with the flow and try to keep changing.
Touching on, I guess, you saying you come here and you train. What? How do you think our socials are at the moment with our gym, and what is it that you love about this gym?
Well, like from a social perspective, I think that there's a little more that the gym can do.
Yeah.
Because you guys aren't as in your face, and for me, it's more like that's a shame because, you know, like I'm a hard person to convince for anything, right? And I've been lifting for probably three and a bit years.
Yep.
You know, my weight loss journey was a big thing for me, and then kind of life happens, right? And you kind of still pack on the weight, but from my initial period, I changed how my body looked. Like when I grew some shoulders for once in my life, and I changed the shape. So, like for me, getting to the gym was never an issue. I moved to the other side of the city. I live in Essendon. You know, this is like not far from, but I still never made the move. Never came here. You know, it was always like, oh, the commercial gyms are a good place to go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and name off gyms, but you know, I guess the persistence and the friendliness was good.
Yep.
You know, when I say your socials, probably it's a shame because I kind of wish more people got to see what happens here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think I've said it before that, like, it's more than just a gym. It's not a studio. Like, you know, some of these.
It's a family. It's a community.
Yeah,
That's how
and
we
well,
differ.
not only that, you know, I came in here with a meathead mentality of, yeah, man, I want to train in a factory, right? Because no, well, like we've all had that before when we were lifting. You can't, especially you.
Yeah.
Like, don't pretend you didn't want to be Zeus or something.
Never back down with some
bro.
shit. Yeah.
Well,
This is Sparta. Yeah, I know it feels,
This
bro.
is Brunswick.
But then I came in here, and then you see the boxing setup, you see the equipment. The equipment's great. It's well maintained, you know. And then you also look at you don't have the machinery that the big gyms have, so you learn to adapt. Which, man, I'm sure
You learn to move. That's
I'm
the
sure
difference.
35 years ago, when all these machines didn't really exist, this is how people got big, and this is how people trained and got healthy. So, like, that's what attracts you to this gym, is that, like, you can turn to your left and you see a whole bunch of bags, people like hitting them. You've got a great coach there, and then you turn to your right, you have got people doing Tabata classes, you have got people doing, you know, stretches. You have got coaches. Everyone's having a laugh. I tend to hang out here too much. But you know, like that atmosphere means that it's like you get a better relationship with exercise.
But I guess the fact that you can come here and just hang out, that just shows how comfortable that you can feel around people like
And
us.
like if people saw the classes that happened, like I can't remember, it was one of the other nights, there was what 2 or 3 things happening at once. There was at least 35
Monday
people
night?
in the gym. Yeah,
Monday night.
30, 40 people in the gym. And if you take a step back and look at across the people, there are people of different ethnicities, sexes, sizes, skill levels, strength levels, weight loss levels, man. But everyone's on the one, like everyone's doing one thing in common, and they're just smashing it. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's banter between that. There's laughter. There's, you know, people get to do that, and then they get to buy a shirt and belong to a community and walk out around the street with this T-shirt that represents where they go. You know, and you know, from someone who's been incredibly overweight. You know, I was over 130 kilos before. I was 137 kilos. You know, like the hardest part about being a part of a gym or going to a gym is getting over the
the insecurities and.
I'm a big dude, man. I don't look good, and man, this is too hard for me.
Yeah.
And then saying to people, what did you do? I went to the gym last night. When you weigh that much, and you say to someone that you went to the gym, they laugh.
Yeah.
Even if they don't
I
do
can
it.
relate to that when I was overweight.
You know what I mean? Like, because you just think to yourself, damn, like, are you judging me? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Because they go, oh, you went to the gym, but you don't look it. You know?
But that's the type of stigma that surrounds those big chain
That's
gyms.
it.
You know what I mean?
Huge.
It's a joke. You know what I mean? But we're not like that.
Yeah.
We all support each other. We all want what's best for each other. And the fact that you can come here and feel comfortable all the time, that's what we want.
Man,
That's what we want all the members to feel like. And you know, I think that the majority of them do.
That chalkboard with people's goals, man, that's massive, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like I was going to another gym and they write people's achievements, right? But so that's where you are,
Yeah.
you know, and that's marketing, right? Because that's, well, what do you want to get to? What are you going to keep coming here to be?
Yeah.
And some of them are actually really, like, I don't know if you guys have stopped to fully read them, but
Yeah.
some of them are really
Pretty
deep,
deep,
man.
yeah.
Like, some of them have nothing to do with weight loss. Some of them have nothing to do with, like, fighting or boxing
Just
or
life
kickboxing.
goals.
Of course.
Like,
Health
you're talking
goals.
things about self-esteem. Like,
Yeah.
that's something that, like, you can't impact at a gym. Like, no weight, no dumbbell, no glove, no supplement, no coffee is going to make you feel better. Like, the self-esteem. And then for someone to be able to write that publicly inside a gym where there's a minimum of like 50 to 80 people coming through a day, you know what I mean? Like, that's huge, man. Like,
Yeah.
so that's what attracted me, are those small elements. Aside from the fact that these guys are funny and it's fun, it's like, well, like, you can say you go somewhere with pride.
Appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I
100%.
love that.
Very, very great.
Thank you, bro. Well, on another note, what's your future plans for all your events?
Man, it's actually getting crazy at the moment. So we've got the day and night day party.
Yep.
I've got some really cool partners with that, man. So, you know, we've got Shags, who's a good mate of mine. ESG as well, who's come on he's come on from the beginning, and he's.
Can you make some mixtape, please? Thank you.
Yeah. Eddie Noble, come for a sesh.
Yeah, please.
We'll have a sparring session.
And
And then Danny Grant, who's a massive promoter as well. He does a lot of like I call them the white people parties, like all the young kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
no, but he kills it. He's massive, dude. They do huge things, you know, part of an Empire and stuff, and just a cool bunch of guys that have just built this brand that's kind of gone from 300 people. We've done a 600-person party. We did a warehouse party.
Yeah, they look intense.
Now we're having to do one in November, a little bit smaller, because then the New Year's Day is going to be huge. And everyone knows that Prince Circus generally like second to River.
Yeah.
So big opportunities there, and then we've still got our other events. So we've got Brooklyn, that's been 3.5 years. Melbourne's
Solid, great place.
Yeah,
Great place.
Melbourne's old school spot. You know, I'm very blessed for that. There's been a lot of support for that, and I'm still a Latin promoter, so I still have Rumba, which I have tonight. And then we've got other brands, like we've got like a beach party coming up with
awesome.
Latin night, and I'm launching another big Saturday Latin night. I can't give away too much, but November details will come.
But you've also got a good team behind you that helps you with all.
Man, I wouldn't even say it's a team, to be honest, man. Like, we just, how can I put it? Structures change from companies to company. We're just a good bunch of dudes who just hustle, man.
Yeah.
Like, we help each other. We yell at each other. We crack it at each other when we need to. You know, but every little element we do is good. You know, so it's why it works. And then, look, truthfully, I'm sorry, Mum, but we're just really good at partying. You know, there are weekends we'll do day and night. We'll have like Rumba, and then Brooklyn. It's like more partying over the weekend than it is sleeping and stuff, man. It's never good, man. But you know, like, we're just good at that. We're good at partying, and you know, it kind of helps.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so that's it. You're just gonna keep sticking. So the marketing's been the biggest thing for you guys.
Yeah, well, like, so I guess another venture that's coming up is I've just kind of come into partnership with someone who's already got some form of media company.
Yep.
And we're launching a new brand that's sort of marketed at hospitality. I at the moment work for a really cool venue, so I work for Top Yard as well.
Nice.
We run events up there, but so I'm launching the after work drinks next week as well.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of changing the new element to what after work drinks are.
Good on you, man.
But so that'll then tie in with this new venture where, you know, I guess like my future isn't partying. You know, that's, you start to feel it after a while, man. I've been doing this since I was 18. I'm 29, and like it
The body takes
hurts,
its
man. It hurts,
Yeah,
dude.
of
So,
course.
you know, the future's not so much the partying, but being the marketing engine behind the partying.
Yeah.
So that's the future. Where that's going to take me, I don't know. All I know is that I've got to keep hustling because this is now what I do full time. So
That's it, man.
But
You've got our support,
but you'll find as you keep doing this stuff, like I'm sure it's already happened. Like more doors will open up for you,
100%.
and you could probably move into like a different field.
man, I'll be honest with you. The last 6 months have been like life changing. To be honest, to go from a full time income working in insurance to deciding to double down on the business, it kind of dropping, and then just things kind of the last 6 to 12 months have just been huge. And they do open things that open doors, open your eyes a bit too. And I think when going through a little bit of, what do you call it, struggle, just a bit of a downfall, and then kind of coming back up and having a real, having more open eyes, the opportunities are there. They're not there are no new opportunities to come. They've been waiting there forever. Well, it's just about what it is that we want to do, and so this marketing company is just kind of, that's kind of the future. But for now, sort of the party still goes. It's kind of, got to have sort of money coming through, and hopefully by the end of March we'll be in our own office, and
Beautiful, man.
that's the goal for us, man. So that's a big thing, and then hopefully we can do some cool
You
stuff.
know, you always have our support anyway.
Always.
Go hard. And we appreciate your time, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on, man.
And I think it's that time, Timos.
What's that? What
It's
time
that
is
time,
it?
brother,
Yeah.
Christian. So what happens is every time we get a special guest on, brother,
Yep.
I have to freestyle. So you're the special guest. Give me a word. I've got to freestyle.
Donkey.
No, give me another word. I ride that thing to work.
That was just random. Straight out, man.
He's like,
was
I
not
don't
expecting
know.
that.
I'm not lying. I just looked at him. I was like,
Donkey.
donkey.
Quick, give me another word. I've got to freestyle.
Black.
Black. I'm wearing a hat because I'm bald. Give me another word.
He's horrible. Alright.
I am. We got to cut that
I'm
out.
trying to give you like 4.
I'm not cut nothing out.
You gotta cut that
I'm not
out.
cut nothing.
Lad.
Oh, yeah, lad. I need to gather because it's the new fad. Peace out.